Okay, here's a map of where I live. I'm being gang stalked. I've been gang stalked since I was 3 years old. I did that. Okay, I didn't know this up until about 5 months ago. They gave themselves away. They wanted to brag and show off. I had an idea about a year ago, but I kind of forgot about it, and then they kind of surfaced. It's a long story. This video is more about the layout. And what's behind this are, if you're being gang stalked, it's your own local police department, along with the military. It's the new police. They're doing beta testing right now to see who they can do this to, people's reactions, and taxpayers' money is paying for this. Crimes against humanity, violation of the Constitution and human rights. This is what's going on here. I live on Louisiana Street in San Diego, and I live in this little studio apartment. I lived here for 27 years. When I first moved here, the very first few months, I would come home from work and my lights were on. I know I turned them off. I didn't know back then what was happening. One time I went to work, I was walking to the bus stop, and I turned around and walked back. I was 2 blocks away, and I remember I turned the light off. I just wanted to check, and I came back, my light was on again. Anyways, that's when my aunt, she lives in the front. Okay, I live here. She lives in the front house. She was at work back then. She's a retired school principal. Okay, she has a lot of friends in the police force and people that own their own businesses and stuff. But my aunt is completely into, she's a retired school principal, so she totally believes in law and doesn't believe in conspiracies. She's 70 years old, and they're like totally violating her property because she owns this property. I live in the back here in the studio, and this is the street in the front. So here's the street. There's my aunt's house off the street, and I'm down the driveway in the back above the garage, studio apartment. Now I'm victim 1. There could be more victims because gang stalkers, move in and they start gang stalking different residents, and they'll do different stuff to them, like electrical shocks, different kinds of you go to the dentist, they put implants in you, then they're able to, make your teeth hurt. They do different kinds of tests to see, what your reaction is. So I live there. My aunt lives there. I live in the back. Then I have a neighbor. She's really nice. She's about 70 years old. She lives by herself. Her family lived there back in the 90s. I know them all. Her son actually became really good friends with my best friend, David. But so I'm here. And then next to me are these condos. About a year and a half ago, around there, they moved everybody out. There was a small group in there gang stalking me at the time. I put this together by the reactions, the faces they made, the stuff they did. But anyways, it's a long story, but they moved them out, the whole thing, and they moved new people in. These are all military-looking people, by the way, and lesbians. I don't know why, but they are. And then it's condos. Okay, so I live right there in the little studio. My aunt's backyard, my aunt's house. There's a garage underneath me, my aunt's driveway. There's the street. And next door to us are these condos. See? So I'm little tiny me, and they're in these condos. There's about 20 people over there. I'm by myself alone, and there's like 20 people over here gang stalking me. And they're all working hand in hand. They meet out here in the, when it's real quiet and I'm alone, they like to meet over here and huddle. These are cars, by the way. They're cars. They like to meet over here and huddle like in a circle, like 6 of them, 10 of them, act like they're discussing the condos and stuff, but they know that I know, and they're just trying to intimidate me. Then you got the back here. This one's questionable. And then you got this one is questionable. A lady came to my door a few weeks ago, shook my hand, and the next day I vomited. She got me sick. I don't know what, she tried to poison me or something, but anyways. Now, here's the street, right? And across the street, straight across the street from my aunt's house, see, is a house, and behind this house is a duplex. The lady here lived alone there for a long time, but there's like some guy staying there with her now. She's also in on it because she hangs around the people in the condos. And then you got the house here, and that's a military family, and they're in on it because they hang around her. They hang tight together. There was a guy in the back here who was very friendly. He seemed like a nice guy. Well, it turns out he's like missing. The cops were there for a whole day. He's missing, but he was hanging around her and the people in the condos. So I definitely think he was in on it. I actually saw him back here after the cops came here one time. He was actually back there talking to her again. I think he's staying in the front house, or he's just like hiding back there. Now there might be a way to go to the very back to the next street. But anyways, these two are in on it. This is confirmed. Okay. That's my neighbor's house. She's nice. That's my aunt's house in the front. And you got gang stalker. There's one way over here on the other side of the neighbor's house. And then you got the condos right there. And over here is a real nice family. But this guy, he gets along with my uncle pretty good. But he seems to hang around them a lot. So it makes me wonder. He's nice. I like this guy, but I don't know. He's questionable. But he seems to be in cahoots with them because he hangs out over here a lot. So you got black ops, gang stalkers here. They're getting financed taxpayers' money to harass citizens, try and terrorize them. I guess that's the word for that's terrorist. They try and terrorize citizens. They've been laying low the last few months, real quiet, like nothing's going on now suddenly, but it wasn't like that before. You got them, and the house across the street, and the house there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's one on this side of the house. It's 5, and there could be more spread out. I've noticed that too. They're adding like all this like equipment stuff around it, so I don't know if it's some kind of high tech stuff they're about to bump it up a step. But other places I go and friends that have been put in my life, recent friends, more recent, like one's an ex-girlfriend from 5 years ago. I met her online, and she's a good friend of mine now, but she's possibly involved with this too, because they actually get you online very easily. They can stalk you. They can cut your emails from going to other people and just have someone enter your life. It's a plant. And then there's a few other elderly ladies that are questionable. One keeps giving me coffee, and I'm starting to get sick every time I drink the coffee. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm leaving notes for my family and friends in case they kill me. They're coming after me because I found out some horrible information. Why these gang stalkers were trying to kill me in November of 2016, January of 2017, February of 2017. I prayed to God. I asked for help, and I got convicted by the Holy Spirit in my chest area, around the heart area, to do some research, and I did on YouTube, and I found these scientists saying these huge words. I just summed it down to smaller words, and I realized that there's a conspiracy that's so huge. There's evidence like all over the place. Physical evidence all over you, all over your yard, everywhere. But you're not looking for it, so you don't know about it. But this conspiracy is huge. And I believe they kind of scared me into stumbling upon it. And I prayed to God to help me, and they tried to kill me at the hospital with an IV that had poison in it. I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. They wouldn't give me no water or food for 24 hours. So even if they weren't poisoning me, that was really, really creepy. I had to get out of there. I ran out. I left. My brother came to pick me up. I left. They were begging me to stay. 2 hours later, I started getting better. As soon as I left that place, I started getting better. Then at a red light, a guy tried to open my car door a month later. And then in March, what was it? March or April? February? So somewhere around there, I haven't written down stuff. I went to a counselor to show her what I found out, because I try to let a few people know in case they get me that this information gets out. And I came back from the counselor. I was coming back home, walking up my steps, and there was these 2 huge military guys right here. So I'm walking up my steps to my door, 2 huge military guys talking to some other guy that lived here, and the 2 twin-looking guys, they're twins. They look like twins pretty much. They gave me a mean look, and they just turned around and walked away. I was like, okay, that's creepy. Came inside. That night, I saw the shadow of a man walking down my steps, and I could hear someone on the side of my studio breathing. I called 911. The cops came to my door. I told them they did not want to flash a light. The guy sounded like he was right here. It turned out later on he was actually on this side of the bushes of the fence. So that's why when the cops came over here and shined their lights, they didn't see him because he was right here. Now they didn't want to shine their lights anywhere. I had to kind of beg them. They shined their lights for 3 seconds. Then they didn't say goodbye to me or nothing. He said, "Let's go." And they kind of snuck off. So I called again, hung up on me. I called the third time. While I was ringing, my brother was staying the night with me. While I was ringing, a voice came on and said, "No one's gonna help you." My brother goes, "What's that?" I said, "Oh, I thought I was crazy." So he goes, "Oh, there's something going on now." We're like at 3 in the morning now because we hear some guy creeping around out here. Those two guys I saw earlier in the day, I believe one was back here because the officers didn't want to shine their lights back there at all by the shed, and I believe one was on the side of the fence. So after the third call, that voice came on while the phone was ringing to 911. "No one's going to help you." My brother freaked out. I called my aunt's house. They stayed inside, but when the cops showed up, 5 cops, I came walking out to greet them. 2 cops came approached me and goes, "You're on meth. Go back inside and take your medicine." So I had to argue and beg. We were in the backyard talking right here, and I had to argue and beg with these two. I had to argue and beg these 2 officers to go back here and shine their lights. They wouldn't do it. They waited about 10, 15 minutes before they finally came back here and shined their lights. Now, there's a shed right here. So behind the shed, there's a little block of land behind my studio. See, there's a fence there, and my studio there. There's a little piece of land that there could have been someone standing back there. They wouldn't have seen him because the light going this way, he's around the corner. And I like going this way, the shed's in the way. Anyways, we blocked it off now, but the cops, I had to beg them and beg. You know, cops are normally gun-ho. They'd go back there and shine their lights. I mean, we're like 12 steps away from here. And I had to beg them to go back there, almost on my knees. Now, they told me to go back up and take my medicine, and if I call again, they're going to arrest me. He said I was on meth. Never gave me a drug test, never a jury or trial. So me and my brother came back upstairs. He was staying the night with me. It was about 3:30 in the morning. By 4 o'clock, I started falling asleep. My brother started snoring. He was asleep. Suddenly, I hear a loud boom. I wasn't asleep. I was, semi-awake, but my eyes were closing. I heard a loud boom, and it sounded like it came from around here. I opened my eyes. I heard a man running away, like, doof, 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 and like, and then my brother opened his eyes, and then suddenly it was covered up with a sound like a horse, but with 2 feet. My brother goes, "It sounds like somebody's running out of our yard." I said, "Yeah." And then my brother goes, "It sounds like a goat, like a man with 2 legs and goat's feet." I said, "I know, isn't that creepy?" What they did is they used special effects to cover up the sound of the guy running. Anyways, the gate, boom, it was around this area here. There's an entrance right here to her backyard. That's how I figured out the guy must have been on the side of the fence. So he was probably going to climb up on this fence and then come through my windows right here, and the other guy too. And then if 2 of them are coming in, because there's 2 of us, because we both know the information, they wanted to kill us. They could have shot me through the window. They wanted to come inside because they wanted to kill us and make it look like a suicide, or else they would have just shot us through the window. They would have had 2-3 hours to just move around in here and make it look like a suicide. That way, there's nothing to see. Move along, move along. So this happened about 3-4 months ago. So I called the cops the 3rd time. I told you about 911 call, the voice. And then we heard someone run away at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then the 2 guys I saw earlier when I came back from my counselor to show her what I knew. Now, it's possible my counselor's even in on this. Possibly. I don't want to say too much about that. She's very charismatic. She's down to earth, very hip, very cool. But there was some interesting circumstances that day before I came back home, which leads me to believe that. I mean, I was showing her some information. Only she would have known. They were waiting for me to give me that dirty look to say, "Okay, you're coming back from that?" And they gave me a dirty look, like signaling that this is the reason why. And why what? Later on that night, why was revealed. Anyways, this is what's going on. Retired school principal, my aunt. I'm back here, and she has a lot of friends, and they're just totally like she doesn't know they're surrounding her house. So if anything happens, they'll probably take my channel down. But this video is a testimony. I hope you people out there, if any of you see this, you guys can download this. Download any of my stuff you like and share it. But this is like a recorded testimony of what's going on with me. Okay. Now, the reason why I say they're gang stalking is because it's a long, long story. But there was these 2 girls in 2001. There was a weird noise outside. It's a long story. I really can't get into it now, and I'll make a video on it. But they were jumping up and down. Woke me up. I looked out at 5 in the morning. It was dark, and they're over here by the security gate in the condos. And they turned around and looked at me. I started giggling, and here I am asleep. My place is dark. You can't see inside. I'm peeking through a little window like this much, and they're just jumping up and down. They look robotic. It was so creepy looking, and they just kept covering their mouths, and then they would turn around and look over right at the window and like give me eye contact. And then after that, about 9 months ago, people would come and go from the condos. I had these windows where you can see out, but you can't see in. And all the way on the strip, I walking in, they would just look me right in the eyes. I would like look out the window, what's that noise? And see somebody walking in. Oh, it's just the condos, no big deal. And they would walk in, and while they're turning the corner to go into the condos, their head would not turn. They would just keep their eyes on my window and just mad dog me. You cannot see in. They can see in through the smart meters, through technical stuff. And they have earpieces in their ears, and they're able to signal them, yeah, he's in the window, he's at this point. So they know exactly where to look. That's the only way they could have done it. Anyways, this is what's going on. I'm an American citizen. If I committed a crime, they should have came years ago, and because this has been going on for years. This is just gang stalking. And they tried to set me up. Somebody was remote controlling inside my brother's computer back in November and December. We have no money, so we're figuring they probably tried to put some illegal stuff in there. We got rid of that stuff. That stuff's gone. But anyways, this is what's going on in my life. They tried to frame me for a crime already. They tried to kill me. Now I found out some horrible information, what they're doing to America, to everybody. This is being done to everybody in America and worldwide. I found out some horrible information. And I made videos telling them I'm not going to share it as long as they don't, try to kill me or kill me. They've still been coming. They're just being quiet on the surface, but underneath they're like plotting and planning. They want me to think it's all quiet and stuff, but I'm a Christian. I believe in God. God sees everything, so He knows when they're plotting and planning. He's been the only one protecting me, I believe, because I've got out of like 6 or 7 different attempts. I would say 4 confirmed. Strange people coming to my door saying they're with AT&T. I don't answer the door. Never. I lived here for 27 years. I've never seen so much attempts. I've never had problems. My life's smooth sailing. Trying to open my car door at a red light, the IV making me sick, people creeping around at 1 in the morning trying to get into my place, the cops not wanting to shine the light, having to beg them, voices on coming 911, no one's going to help you. I mean, just the entire thing. Oh, they're following me in cars, blocking traffic, and then the guy's looking at me in the mirror and going like this with his hand, like you're talking too much. And the guy pulls up in the red zone behind him, walks out up to my car, the bumper. I'm in traffic. The guy walks to the front of my bumper, starts directing traffic. Just go around them. Don't worry about it. Let them talk. Let them talk. I would swear this on the Bible in a court of law. This is what's going on to me in America. I'm on Louisiana Street in San Diego, and I'm a victim of our own government. Our own government. And this is the San Diego Police Department along with the military. And if you're being gang stalked out there, anywhere you're at, just know 99% of the time it's your own local police department. Because the new police is going to be undercover, and gang stalking is going to be the new SS, the new KGB. That's going to be the new police. Eventually, they'll get rid of the badges, right? And the stuff I found out, one of them is with a special device, which is available everywhere. I just can't say what it is. You can actually see that a lot of these people are not even people at all. True story. I would swear on a stack of Bibles. True story. And I can't release this information right now. I'm being surrounded by them. I prayed to God. He said, just be quiet. Don't say nothing, and I'll protect you. I cannot give out the information. God says this stuff's on a bigger scale, more than I'll comprehend. I just got to be quiet and just keep studying the Bible. And that's what I'm doing, because I'm in fear for my life. Trust me, if I'm going to the Bible, I'm in total fear. Okay? This is what's going on in San Diego on Louisiana Street. 2 things I found out was that you can see them with a special device. You can see them, and at the same time, they're spraying everybody with this horrible substance. Everybody is being sprayed. Thanks for watching. Please share this, download this, share it, pass it on. They can go viral. If they keep coming, the information might be released. Thank you.